Gentlemen, whether you are in a long-term relationship or just starting to heat things up with someone new, mastering the art of foreplay with your clothes on is a game changer. It can lead to more sex, more consistent sex, and best of all, better sex. And that's because the key to female pleasure is time. If you really want to get her hot and ready, then you have got to start hours, even days before you hit the sheets. And if that sounds like a lot of work, don't worry, it doesn't have to be. The key to this kind of foreplay is that it's actually a series of small, super easy things that you can do that will make her horny. It is that simple. This is the kind of thing that separates the good lovers from the great. So make sure to stick around until the end for every last tip. All right, my top 10 tips for engaging in foreplay before the clothes even come off. Number 1, master the art of anticipation. Think of anticipation like the appetizer of the sexual world. If you're at a restaurant and the amuse-bouche tastes incredible, then it is going to increase your excitement for the meal to come tenfold. And the best part, building anticipation can be mind-blowingly simple. Start your day with a sexy text or a suggestive compliment. The key here is subtlety, remember, because this is like way early on. A wink, a naughty implication, a teeny little hint of what's to come later. Build this tension as you would starting a fine stew. You're going to simmer it slow and build it steady, right? When you give her a sexy little compliment in the morning or kiss her goodbye for a little longer than usual, what you're doing is planting this seed in her mind and you're letting it grow throughout the day. Not only will this boost her confidence, but it's also going to keep her mind wandering back to that steamy little moment that you shared earlier. Anticipation can be built whether or not you started the day together. I mean, thanks to the powers of technology, you can get her engine going from anywhere. Number 2, the power of touch. When you think of touch and foreplay, it's possible that only the most obvious come to mind, the kind that you have to be more or less naked or getting there to enjoy. Well, don't underestimate the power of your moves. You've heard this before, but the biggest sex organ that we have is the one in between her ears. And when you touch her while she's fully clothed in ways that are just a little intimate and suggestive, well, her gears start spinning. But remember, she's still got her clothes on, so there's sort of this like layer of protection. And for us, for women, that can feel really, really good as we warm up for later. Remember, every piece of clothing is just a barrier that begs to be played with. So when you touch her while she's clothed, subconsciously or consciously, she becomes very aware of that barrier between you. And again, anticipation, the joy of taking things off. And the more aware that she's actually of that barrier, the more that her mind gets to shift to getting that barrier out of the way. Again, this is like such a feminine thing. If you don't, just trust me if it doesn't make sense to you. You can use light teasing touches over her clothing. Brush her arm, play with the hem of her skirt, run your fingers lightly down her zipper. These actions can send shivers and set the tone of what's next. It's like playing with the beautiful wrapping paper on a present. Half of the joy is just in the unwrapping. Number 3, whisper to win. When it comes to clothes-on foreplay, you definitely do not have to be loud in order to make an impact. And there are so many reasons that whispering can be incredibly erotic and a fantastic way to start foreplay long before you're in the bedroom. Lean in close during a dinner party or in line at the coffee shop. Let your breath tickle her neck or her ear as you tell her how much you appreciate the outfit she's wearing or how you can't wait to make her smile under less public circumstances. This intimate proximity is alluring and it suggests a shared secret between you, which is really hot. On top of that, the ears and neck are incredible pleasure zones. They can even be erogenous or orgasmic zones for some women, and feeling the warmth of your breath can be wildly pleasurable. Again, it's like almost like the space between the anticipation. And you can always tuck her hair, well, not my hair, but her hair, behind her ear before you go in for it. And this is definitely going to get her juices flowing. Number 4, give her the look. This makes me think of Nicki Minaj and Super Bass. What does she say? When you give me that look, then the panty's coming off. Nicki Minaj, she said it best. So often, men's advances for sex are really obvious. They're rooted in touch and often in like pretty predictable areas. Guys, you know who you are with the like the honking or whatever. Men who know how to subtly amp up the heat are a bit of a rare breed, but they don't have to be, because it is incredibly easy to give her that same idea with a lot more subtlety. And one of the best ways is just using your eyes. A lingering gaze across a crowded room or soft but intense eye contact during a conversation can create a deep feeling of intimacy between you and her and let her know that you desire her. In fact, eye contact is such a powerful tool before and during sex that I made a whole video about it, which you can check out after this one. But it isn't just eye-to-eye contact that can get women's sexuality going. And that's because we can be kind of narcissistic. We get off on feeling desired, appreciated, noticed, wanted, seen. And the easiest way to make her feel those things is to look at her like you want her. Look at her while she's in conversation with someone else. Look at her while she's far away across the room. Just look at her, and even more so, look into her. Take her all in with your eyes, not judging what you like or what you don't like, but rather kind of just penetrating her with your eyes. This works best if you kind of have some rapport, a couple dates in or in a relationship, but trust me, it can really be as simple as that. You would not believe how erotic it can be to just feel simply seen. So put down your phone and look at her, into her, through her, into her soul instead. Number 5, share a sexy memory. If the two of you have already been intimate, then sharing in whatever level of detail feels appropriate, a particular favorite memory is a fantastic way to get her engines revving. Like, remember that time you spit in her mouth? Or the feeling of her legs being wrapped around you? Share from your own perspective and don't be afraid to tell her what you're thinking about those memories does to you. Why does this work so well? Well, it's simple. It transports her brain back to a time when she was horny, and it elicits those same feelings all over again. All right, number 6, close on foreplay, dance. When did it stop being popular for couples to dance? Like, it is so romantic. It is so sexy. I personally did not sign off on this, okay? We're bringing dancing back. And it doesn't have to be good. I for sure am not a great dancer, let alone partner dancing. But whether it is a very simple, slow sway in the living room or a full-on jam in the kitchen or some like sexy salsa when you're out on the street, dancing is a great way to physically connect with the other person without getting sexual. The act of moving together, syncing your actions, breathing together, the occasional brush of your bodies, even if you're not a great dancer, I think just about every single woman loves to have a little sway with her man. It is a playful way to ease into getting physical. It gets your bodies close together, moving together, and it gives you a chance to connect in a novel way that she's not connecting with other people in. All right, number 7, compliment her. Remember what I said before about women's sexuality being a little narcissistic? Well, I mean it. And a well-timed, sincere compliment can make her feel desired and appreciated and turned on, which is often the first step to getting to those heights of arousal. So tell her how much you appreciate the way that she moves through the world with grace, or how the color that she's wearing really complements her beautifully. Don't go for the obvious or for the overdone. A great compliment is specific and a little bit unexpected. They're the ones that make us feel really special. And I highly recommend that you compliment women on something that they chose, like the dress that they're wearing, or something that they've practiced, like a skill that they have worked to get, like remaining poised under pressure. Because trust me, those will not go unnoticed. Number 8, bring a sense of adventure. Okay, this one might not seem like traditional foreplay, but it is a definite factor in keeping her engine running. Feeling like their partner has a sense of excitement and adventure is a huge turn on for most women. And what's more, we love to be included. It's sort of like the masculine energy there. It's like a turn on for feminine people. So you can inject some excitement by suggesting an unexpected outing or an experience, or just making whatever you're doing a little more thrilling. It could be a last minute road trip. It could just be trying a new restaurant. It could be anything that is a brand new experience for both of you. And that's because these stimulate dopamine in the brain just the same way that attraction does. It shows that you're invested in making new memories together, that you're invested in the relationship, that you're invested in her joy and her satisfaction, and it shows that you're putting just a little bit more effort into creating those points of connection between you. These little activities and out-of-the-box thinking actually goes a long way from preventing sexual ruts inside of a partnership. If you keep things exciting outside of the bedroom, your sex life is going to follow. All right, number 9, hold it back and let her know. You know what women love? Men who desire them so much that they have to restrain themselves. Have you ever seen that meme from Pride and Prejudice?
Stasek.
maybe not, I'll explain it. There's one where Mr. Darcy touches Elizabeth's hand and then pulls back, and he has to clench his fist to tamper his desire. Again, peak erotic literacy for women. That is the kind of stuff that women all around the world are masturbating to. That vibe, the desire and restraint combo, that is hot. This is such a turn on for women because it lets your woman know that you find her irresistible. It keeps her mind wandering in the right directions. Women love to know that a man desires us, but he's holding himself back. Again, think about this as like the anticipation. He wants to close the gap between us. It's almost overwhelming to him, but he's safe. He's not gonna do or take anything from her. He's just gonna crave her and lust after her, but doing so in a way that emphasizes restraint. This will drive her absolutely wild. And last but not least, number 10, use her love languages. Finally, one of the most surefire ways to keep foreplay going is to tune into her unique frequency. Does she melt with words of affirmation? Does she love acts of service? Does she cherish quality time? Speaking in her love language is perhaps the most potent form of foreplay there is. And again, it doesn't have to be that difficult. Once you learn it, you just do it, right? Do things, pay attention to what works, repeat, trial and error. Now, the actual book on love languages has been sort of debunked, but I think that the concept is still useful. And of course, if you watch my video series on the erotic blueprints, then you're gonna understand how to seduce her in her unique erotic love language, which is a surefire way to make her yearn for what's to come. So there you have it, my starter kit to keeping things steamy, all with clothes firmly on for now. Remember, the slow burn is often what leads to the most spectacular fireworks. So have fun playing the long, delicious, delightful game of foreplay. Let it be easy. Again, it doesn't have to be hard to let anticipation build to that crescendo. Will make it all worth the wait. I'm Caitlin V. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly content on all things sex and relationships. I will see you here next time. Bye-bye.